Wall Street, the financial heart of the nation, gave the specialists and the small investors a few bad moments when the stock market fell off in the worst decline since that black October of 1929. Many and varied were the opinions for the decline. They ranged from suggestions that it was lack of confidence in Washington to the opinion that stocks were overpriced and seeking a proper level. Whatever the reason, there came a wave of selling that sent the 2,000 men on the floor of the New York Stock Exchange scurrying from phone to trader to phone again, trying to keep up with sell orders. It was immediately apparent that most sales came from small investors, while on the other hand, big mutual funds and trust funds moved in to buy. The decline was climaxed with a 9 million share day, in which stocks lost $21 billion in value. But then the tide turned just as mysteriously. Again, it was the small investor, adding his strength to the pros that made the market bounce back to regain most of the loss. Stock markets abroad reflected the new optimism in Wall Street, and shares appear to be heading back to earlier levels. The pulse of the nation beat steadily once again.
In 1962, the economy was sluggish. Unemployment was at 5.5%. There had been an unsuccessful attempt to raise the price of steel. The market had gone down dramatically. There was some question as to how well President Kennedy was managing the economy.
Republican National Committee recently adopted a resolution saying you were pretty much of a failure.
I'm sure it was passed unanimously. And the stock market had its difficulties last spring. I got a good many letters. I received no mail thanking me and expressing admiration for my economic wisdom when the market goes up, but when it goes down, we all know who's wrong.
The last Monday in May is the blackest day on Wall Street since that October Tuesday in '29. In an avalanche of selling, stock values on the New York Exchange dropped more than $20 billion. Despite a comeback, the market shows no firmness until after the Cuba crisis. In heavy off-year voting, Richard Nixon tries again before
Here stands historic Trinity Church. Nearby, George Washington took his oath of office, and the United States Congress first convened. In the heart of the financial district is the New York Stock Exchange. The stock exchange fulfills a need basic to our American economy. It is the nation's marketplace, where stocks and bonds are bought and sold for millions of people everywhere. The broad democratic ownership of a country's productive facilities is new in man's history, and the development of a people's capitalism, a chance for everyone to own his share of American business, did not come about suddenly. The stock exchange story is one that affects every American today. Let's turn back 300 years and see the role played by investors and the exchange in the growth of America. Some banks increased their capital by issuing stock. In 1790, the government itself sold stock to repay the costs of the revolution.
Investors have helped create jobs for millions. Their securities in most of the nation's larger companies are traded on the New York Stock Exchange. The exchange today, as in the past, neither buys nor sells stocks nor sets prices, but it continues to provide a central place where sales and purchases can be made and promptly reported. Let's follow a typical transaction. A clerk receives an order from his office to buy 100 shares of Electro Operations, or ELO, at the best market price. He raises a lever, and his floor broker's number appears on the announce boards. The board serves as a paging system for brokers on the floor of the exchange. The broker goes to his clerk to get the order. He starts immediately for the post on the floor where ELO stock is traded. Meanwhile, another broker receives an order to sell 100 ELO shares, also at the best possible price. At the post, the buying broker asks for a quotation on O. The selling broker starts for the same post. 33 to a half. This means $33 per share is the most anyone will pay for ELO at the moment, and 33 and a half is the least anyone will accept. Both brokers seek the best price they can get. The buying broker decides to bid 33 and a quarter. The selling broker decides this is the highest price he can get at the moment. He shouts, "Sold." The transaction has been made. A reporter makes a written notation of the transaction. No written contracts are exchanged. A broker's word is enough. The reporter gives the notation to a page who sends it to the ticker department for relaying to stock tickers all over the country. The selling broker's clerk telephones his office to report the transaction. The buying broker's clerk does the same. Both offer their respective clients. But who are these clients? Let's go to Easton, Pennsylvania, one of the thousands of cities and towns from which such a purchase order might have come. Here we can see an actual broker and his clients. This brokerage office is a branch of one of the more than 600 member firms of the New York Stock Exchange. They form the bridge between the exchange and investors. Through their more than 2,000 offices, people can get facts and advice and buy or sell securities. Prices flash over the nationwide ticker system and also reach the public through newspapers, radio, and television. The broker in this office is Maskell Ewing. Receiving confirmation of the purchase made only a few minutes earlier in New York, he reports to his client. Donald Mack is one of the growing number of young businessmen in town who turn to Maskell Ewing for financial advice. Together, they have planned an investment program which includes stocks or bonds.
With walls of concrete, glass, and steel, is downtown New York City, Manhattan Island to be exact, and the heart of New York's financial district. Sold by the Indians in 1626 for $24 worth of trinkets, here millions of dollars change hands every day. The old Trinity Church still stands as a memory of revolutionary days. It recalls to us the fact that just around the corner, George Washington took the oath of office as first president of the country, and that the first U.S. Congress convened here so many years ago. Here the great names ring out in the mind. Jefferson, Hamilton, Franklin, great men all with great visions, but very shrewd at business too. This building houses the New York Stock Exchange. The titans who founded our country would have understood very clearly the financial trading that goes on within. And this is the floor of the New York Stock Exchange. It is even more crowded than Grand Central Station. Here are traders, brokers, messengers, pages, all the different persons involved in buying and selling stocks, which are really certificates showing part ownership in a business corporation. This is the way it usually starts. A clerk receives an order from a stockbroker to buy some shares of stock. He jots it down, then flicks a switch that lights a number on the annunciation or call board. The trader on the floor, whose number it is, crosses the floor to get the message from the clerk. He must buy the desired shares of stock at the best price available. At the same time, another trader gets an order from his brokerage house to sell that very same stock. The traders will get together, one to buy, another to sell. Now the business of high finance takes shape before your eyes. These men, licensed by the state and highly respected as men of honor, do their trading right on the floor. And whatever price is agreed upon, the reporter standing nearby with pad and pencil is the only one who makes any notations of the business deal. For the traders themselves, their word is their bond. No contracts or papers are signed as proof of their deal. But the right to trade on the floor is so valued that hardly anyone would jeopardize his position by monkey business. Today, a seat on the exchange, which means having the right to do business there with other people's money, can cost from $100,000 to $200,000. So you can see why the honor system works pretty well. No one wants to get kicked out of this very exclusive club. The jotted down note of the business transaction is given to a page who sends it off through a pneumatic tube. Pretty soon, in fact in a few minutes only, the news of the sale of this and thousands of other stocks will go humming over the wires to ticker tape machines everywhere in the country, recording the flow of millions of dollars through a few words passed on the floor of the stock exchange.
Stock exchange in action. People receiving, executing, and reporting public orders to buy and sell securities. The trading floor of the American Stock Exchange reflects economics. All over the world, trade is fundamental to every civilization. This marketplace is in America. Buyers and sellers of securities meet here to execute transactions. This is the story of the Amex, the service it performs for investors, the people who work here, and what they do here. Who are these people? What are they doing here and not in this? Most of them are brokers who are trading for investors, not food or clothing or shelter, but rather the securities which represent these things and many other things as well. As you watch the member brokers, now, even now, thousands of shares of securities worth millions of dollars are changing hands. And it happens every business day. Who is being served by this activity? You are. To begin with, the millions of people who invest directly in securities obviously are being served. They are the share owners of industry, the people who purchase corporate stocks and bonds. If you are not included directly and personally, then you are involved indirectly through your savings, your insurance policy, your mutual fund, your pension program. You are what this is all about.
may sell some of them, but I also want dividends.
As investors decide to buy or sell, for whatever logical or emotional reasons, it's the job of registered brokers to trade on their behalf. For this, they have a language, a shorthand of their own, which gives them information faster.
2,000 at 5/8. You sold 2,000.
I'll take 3,000 at 5/8.
5,000 just sold at 26.5.
3/4 for 5,000 NOV.
Quarter, 3/4. 5 in a share market. How you making the market now?
5,000 a quarter immediate.
2,000 at 5/8. I'll take them.
Bought it at 6.
26 bids for 500 more. I'll take 200 at 7.
I'll take the 5,000 7/8.
I'm bidding for 1,000, offering 2,000.
3,000 share market. Sold.
The broker is the connection between the buyer and the seller. Whether you're buying or selling, it's his job to carry out your instruction.
Maybe I'll take my broker's advice and buy that steel stock.
Just bought 100 at 32 1/2.
I am willing to go 3/4 in the textile outfit.
The brokers who bring them together, and the American Stock Exchange, which provides the physical facilities and guidelines for trading procedures, all have one thing in common: a mutual desire for a fair and orderly market in each security traded on the exchange. Underlying this activity are the Constitution and rules of the exchange, and the nation's securities laws, which give the exchange responsibility for self-regulation of the marketplace. Men known as stock specialists play an important part in helping to achieve this mutually desirable objective: a fair and orderly market.
Which one for the last? 100. Last 3/8. 7/8 straight. 26 and 5 by 1,000. Half it. That's 5/8 100.
To understand the specialist's role, we must examine some of the principles which operate in this market. Here, prices are determined by supply and demand in an open public auction between buyers and sellers. From all over the world, bids to buy and offers to sell securities are funneled to the trading floor. The floor broker picks up an order and takes it to the post where all the trading in that particular security takes place. It is this concentration at a single point of public interest, of bids and offers, of all buy and sell orders, which assures the fairest possible price both for the buyer and the seller. As an example, take the market in Intercoastal Foods Corporation with the ticker symbol ITF and market. By making this new quotation, the specialist contributes to a fair and orderly market. He helps to even out fluctuations and to keep prices moving in an orderly way, usually within a reasonably narrow range. In addition to the specialists and other brokers, there are many other people on the floor. Floor officials who supervise trading activity. Brokers' clerks, who are the link between member offices and floor brokers. Data clerks, who transmit the transactions to the computer and its ticker tape network. And communications technicians, who confirm and record the thousands of oral contracts made between buyer and seller. How did this market come to be? Why has it grown to its present size? Why is it so important in the economy? One of the most important factors was the Industrial Revolution of split-second decisions. Where pad and pencil once sufficed to record a sale, electronic input devices now activate an automated international communications network. Every trade reported by the exchange lets the buyer, the seller, the local broker, and the public know the price of each transaction. The buyer, who can be any place in the country, almost any place in the world, calls her local Amex member broker for the latest quote on Continental Manufacturing, CMF as it is called. After evaluating this and other information, she places a buy order at the market, meaning the best possible price obtainable. Such a transaction is executed by the people who work on the floor of the exchange. But in any single trade, only a few of them take part. The broker's clerk, the buying broker, the selling broker, the stock specialist, the reporter, the page, and the data clerk. The public buy order is flashed to the trading floor, where a booth clerk relays the order to the firm's floor broker. The floor broker goes to the post where CMF is traded. Here is a typical exchange.
How is CMF?
The market is 25.5 bid, offered at 3/4.
I'll bid 25 5/8 for 100 shares.
Your bid, the market is 5 5/8 3/4.
Eddie, CMF, how is it?
25 5/8 3/4.
I'll sell on a 25 8.
I'll take it. I give you Pressman, Froelich, and Frost. 338X.
I'll give you old Lehman, LEH. 626. Reporter, you get that sale?
I'm selling 5/8.
After the order is executed, the reporter passes the information to the page, who records the exact time of the transaction. The data clerk feeds the information into the computer system and the ticker tape for public scrutiny. The brokers confirm the transaction to their clerks. 100 shares of Continental Manufacturing at 25 5/8. This running record appears instantaneously on stock tickers, on screens, and on thousands of automated desk devices across the continent and overseas. All price changes are reported promptly to investors. This has been just one of the many transactions taking place at any given moment at trading posts throughout the floor. More than 1,000 corporations whose securities are valued at more than $65 billion are listed on the Amex. As a prerequisite to listing, each company must satisfy the exchange's broad range of listing requirements: earnings, public ownership, number of stockholders, net worth, and others.
What does your study of the financial statement show on? The balance sheet is quite strong, net worth over $6 million. Earnings progressively upwards, over $1,200,000 last year. How about stock distribution?
They've got 800,000 shares outstanding. There are 2,700 stockholders. 1,500 of these own 100 shares or
The
more.
same impartial concern for the public interest when admitting a security to trading can also be found on the trading floor. This man is one of 28 floor officials who help keep the market machinery moving smoothly and efficiently. Floor officials supervise trading on the spot and settle procedural questions.
All idea down here is we have a spirit of cooperation to further the betterment of the public market and security.
I understand that.
If unusual trading activity builds in a particular issue, they move in to ask why. Is there any concentration of orders? Any news? The exchange may halt trading or request other exchange officials to ask the company involved for additional information.
The purpose of my call here is to establish whether there has been any recent development in the company's affairs which would serve as a basis for the increased trading activity and price rise.
Additionally, the exchange's computer complex is monitoring market activity. More data may be requested from brokerage firms.
Well, have you put out a research report? Is the firm recommending the stock? Well, are you permitting your salesman to solicit it?
From the opening bell to the closing buzzer, throughout the entire day, exchange officials follow the floor trading closely to detect any unusual activity which might require explanation.
Charlie, what's the range and volume at ITF today?
Any new products? What about earnings? Is a merger in process?
It's actually been higher, up 1.5. You better get me a 6-week printout.
In short, does the public have access to the information it should have in order to invest intelligently? The purpose of it all? To assure a fair and orderly market, to protect the public interest.
Hello? Checking ITF. Who's buying that today? What houses are buying?
Bringing all of the pertinent facts into the open is called timely disclosure.
The company is issuing a disclosure statement.
Yes, at the request of the exchange. You should expect it in a matter of minutes. Okay, bye.
The objective of timely disclosure: replace rumor with fact. Bring pertinent data into the open. Provide the public with the information required for sound investment decisions. Approximately half the budget and half the personnel of the exchange are involved in surveillance activities designed to serve the public interest. These functions often continue far into the night, long after the regular business day. The end of each day is tomorrow's beginning.
It is a profession, an occupation, a craft, art, and trade, all rolled into one. Source document input offered by the 1428. The first step is for the businessman to look at his own source.
To New York. Welcome to the New York Stock Exchange.
The exchange has expanded its staff of fair ladies, multilingual guides for the millions from around the world who are visiting the city for the World's Fair. One of New York's most popular tourist attractions, the exchange conducts tours for hundreds of thousands each year.
Since 1792, the exchange has served...
Guides give a full explanation of how stocks are bought and sold. There are fascinating exhibits for visitors to operate, movies, and the big board provides and mails picture postcards of the trading floor for its guests. The financial district, at the tip of Manhattan, is easily reached by all New York City transit lines.
Jag hoppas att ni kommer hit snart.
In Swedish, that's an invitation.
To downtown Manhattan, and down here they buy and sell everything.
With them other than business.
The most beautiful. On Wall Street, Washington's statue shows where the first president took his oath of office. New York has every national...
I set a high value on my stock in Imperial Steel. It pays good dividends. It's a sound investment. And now you advise me to sell it. What kind of a lawyer are you, Sid?
Well, you'll have to raise the cash somehow, and I think the stock's the best way. Your books show clearly that the store is in no position to pay for all this new equipment and decorating. So, you and your partners are each personally liable for the whole amount.
Steel Company Incorporated. Because the stock of this company is offered on a stock exchange to the general public, it is known as an open corporation. Like many large open corporations, Imperial Steel is not controlled by any one person. Stock shares are bought and sold as large and small investments of many people. The management of the company is handled for the stockholders by the elected board of directors. Thus, by the pooling of capital at limited risk to the individual owners, corporations can make a real contribution from steel to clothing in our economic life.